Wait, click the microphone button, does help. Hello and welcome. Yes, it's Wednesday, it's time for me to do some art, and I'm looking to try and fix up some art that I've started a while back and didn't finish. So that's what I'm going to be using this stream for. So yes, welcome to the stream. I am Medkit. Something fishy going on here. Yes, there's a little bit of fishiness going on, yes. So yeah, some of you may remember I did start this as a tattoo design for a friend. Oh, hang on, it's best if I put that on top actually. I've got the light board turned on at the minute. As a tattoo design, and I meant to finish it off with like waves crashing over the rocks and all that sort of stuff, and just blip, brain fart, didn't do it. And it was only the other day at work she mentioned she's looking forward to getting the tattoos done, and I was like, oh yeah, I never finished that one off. So I've decided I'm going to try and do that tonight, this evening. Now, well, the evening bowl on. Right, so what I'm planning on doing is I've got a scrap bit of paper here from work, hence the reason it has error in the corner, and I had to lop off the bottom because it had an account number on, so just to be on the safe side, lop that off. I've just got a plain piece of cheap old paper I can use, just so I can try and get an idea of what I want to do for the waves and the rocks, so that I can then swap the pages around and then draw them on the decent paper and colour them in. Hopefully without cocking everything up. That's the plan. That's what I plan to do. Don't know if it's going to work, but we shall find out. Right, just going to hop some music on in the background. Whilst I remember, yeah. So I've done a system test of Near Replicant. That seems to work okay. What I might do at the end of this stream is just quickly load the game up and just run part of it just to see if it runs fine, if it's going to cause any lag, if I need to adjust any settings before Friday. So I might treat the last 10 minutes or so of this as a tester for that, as such. So we'll see how it goes. If I forget, which is all the more likely, then I'll just try and fit that in before Friday, because I want it to be nice and smooth for Friday, and I just want to make sure that everything's going to run fine. Which it should do, but, you know, better safe than sorry, and all that jazz. Something I may find to look up later at the start of her sketching stream, I can make through her kit and software. Ooh, nice. Yes, I shall have a look into that then. Because, that's the wrong way. I do need to sort of try and get back into the digital stuff as well. And it'd be nice to be able to have a setup similar to what they do, where you can see them draw on the screen, you get all the gubbins, and you still see something of the post. We'll see. Right. You have to excuse me if I'm a bit snotty, but hay fever's kicking in. I'm just like, So yes, right. So, paranoid. Yep, I've got the right sheet paper on top. Always double check. So she's going to be resting on rocks. I want to rough out the rocks in pencil. I appreciate it may not show up that well on camera. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to try and draw some waves splashing over. So I want to ideally try and frame the main part of it with waves. So you'd have, as a rough idea, there's going to be a wave there, splashing there, probably a bit up on there. So curl it around underneath. A wave there, and a wave there. Right. Now I need I'm just going to bring up some Google images of waves. No, I don't mean. I know what you're going to do there. Handy if I wanted to draw people surfing, not necessarily what I need. I was hoping. Ah, wait. That sort of shows it. Annoyingly, my brain had it that the waves would be mostly white with black blue streaks in it, and all the images I'm looking at is just obviously all the white spray. I'm like, darn it. Well, there is another image I have found which could sort of work. Because I want to try and help give the background something, so it's not just like plain white spray on there. So I'm going to use a bit of artistic license for this. So I'm going to have... Let's try and liquefy this. So what I'm trying to do is create a rough boundary of what I want, so where I want the waves to be, what form they want to be, and then I can worry about trying to detail it and bring it in so that it looks more natural. But at least it gives me like a template of saying, right, this is the area that I want the wave to be in. So, how is everyone this evening anyway? Oh, that looks awful. I'll have to really work on that one. It's around a bit, so that's good, that's good. And winding is good. I think what I'll do is I'll see what holiday time I've still got left and what I can take. See if I can't grab some spare time off over the next few weeks or something. And yeah, either head to yours, you could head here, or we just meet up in town or whatever, unwind as well. So we shall try and do something like that. I've just got to talk to work and see what I can get sorted holiday-wise. Oh. It's this weird thing when your brain has an idea and you're like, oh, I'm going to draw that, and then the idea doesn't quite go onto paper and you're just like, And then you're trying to remember what it was that your brain was thinking on, and it's like, nope, all I can see is what's on the paper. Which I appreciate you can't see much of at the minute. Apologies. Actually, no, I've got the shape. Can I flick that off? Yes. Might make things a bit easier for you all to see. It's alive and pondering. Dare I inquire as to what I would be pondering, or is it just general ponder? got there is very sharp. I need to try and smooth the edges on there. And one of my colleagues at work, she did a bit of a whoopsie. She had a customer who was being quite abusive on the phone, and she put someone on hold to transfer, and then she basically swore. The thing is how phones record all phone activity as such. So even when it's on hold, it will record anything that's said. So it's a bit of a whoopsie, but you know, she's not the first and won't be the last person to do this. But everyone was thinking that she'd gone cunt. And I was like, oh my god, that's awful. And I was like, no. I said, you didn't say cunt, you said cock. You called him a cock, plain and simple. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh. She says, I feel better at that. I feel better with a little cock. We just turned around and was like, do you want to try rephrasing that one? But yes, it's one of those things where if the customer was to request recording, they could technically hear her say that. But at the same time, everyone's basically turned around and said, well, if the customer complains about it, we'll be like, well, you were being abusive on the phone. You know, so just be glad that she didn't actually say it to you on the phone. Unfortunately, people seem to think just because we're on the other end of the phone line, they're okay to be abusive to us. Well, try that shit in a shop and you'll be kicked out, so why should it be any different for us? And you know, not every customer is an arsehole. So you want to put... Oh yeah, stuff in your new tin. Yep. Plushies. And head over there, get time off, wouldn't mind a hand with the FX. Yeah. So I'll have a word with them tomorrow, see what I can do. Actually, what I need to do here as well is if I click... Oh no, that is actually the name of the film, that's not any good. Just try to look for some similar drawings that I might be able to use for the shape of the wave. That does bring an idea. So there's one which is, again, it's mostly to do with surfing. There's a lot of that, but it does vary the whites with a lot of greys to really highlight all that. But I'm also liking the way it looks. They don't have anything crashing, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, I definitely need to make it rounder. I've been making it way too stiff. Okay, so let's try then and turn this one into what I want it to be. And then I can try penning it in on the other side. Again, scrap paper, so hey, let's go nuts. Oh, I'm not big enough for the plushies. Oh, sad face. And I can play with the ZX Spectrum, yes. Carpal Tunnel Night of Fire, ooh, nice. I don't know if I'm making it look like water or cauliflower. Bloody hell. I doubt you will have heard that, but there was a plonker on a scooter going past at a rate of knots. The angry garden mower down the street. That's wide enough for one 762 tip today. Strong enough that there could be 20 of them side by side if for 10 rolls. Alright, okay. Also, I might, if I get this done, I've got a couple of other projects I can have a work on. One which I could have a look at is one of my friends at work. Normally I'd say colleagues, but you know, she's a good friend at work. And bless her, she's not had the best of years. So we're sending up a care package to her. One of the girls asked if I could draw like a parcel tag to go on. So I jokingly said, because every Friday I had to remind her that she'd got fish, and she put it in the fridge at work so that she didn't leave it in there. So it became like a meme for us of Fishy Fridays. I'd have to remind her to take the fish, and you know, jokingly I'd turn around to one of the girls and like, remind me to remind her to get a fish. So I was thinking of making a tag like a fish shape, make it look like I don't know, like a plushy fish or something like that. And make that for her, just to try and help her out at this time. Because to a lot of people, she's like almost like a works mama, if you will. Very caring person, looks after a lot of people. It's just in her nature. So we're now trying to return the favour as much as we can for her. Right, that definitely looks a lot better than that. That's fine. So, just chop my nose off to stop it sniffing, it'll be fine. Right, oh, there's that. No, Smile, you cannot have these fishes. So it would be what I might do for this background, rather than line it, is just put this underneath, and then, as much fun as it was last time doing it, just colour over the lines, but then not worry about actually doing the lines themselves. Because I think that might help make it look less, I don't know, cartoony, more natural, but also it won't distract from the image itself. It will help the eye be drawn to the main part of the image, which is the mermaid. Oops, that's a bit awkward. It's only a rough, so I'm not too worried about it. At the moment, it's just to try and get an idea of what I want. Small can have her own fish. She's a big girl, she knows how to fish. But he knows. Tempted to grab some tissue and just jam it up there. The true hay fever look, just 2 bits of tissue sticking at the nose. Right, okay. So I'm technically not going to see that, but I can at least try and get the flow of it. I'm kind of excited to see this once it's been done by the tattoo artist. I mean, technically I've already done 1 to 2, which she's got on her, which was an image that she'd seen that she wanted adjusting. So it was like a generic dog with its paw up and then like a human hand and all like touching kind of thing. Because she'd recently lost her dog, she wanted it to look like her dog. So I sat down with pictures of her dog and worked on creating that for her. And yeah, she had that done. That's kind of cool to see. And they're like, oh, you should become a tattoo artist. I'm like, yeah, but drawing on people is a lot more difficult than drawing on paper. When you draw on paper, the words, whoops, that's not right, isn't that big a deal. People tend to freak out when you say that when you're doing tattoos. I had a bit of a laugh at one of the lads at work as well, because he knew I was going airsofting on the weekend. And he jokingly was sort of like saying, well, don't get shot in the head, you'll be fine. So yeah, what did I do? I get shot straight in the forehead. And Sod's Law is on the game straight after I took the helmet off because I was getting too hot in the helmet and the camera battery was almost dead. And I was like, you know what? I'll take the helmet off, I'll wear my hat, be fine. And then took one straight in the centre of the forehead. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. So yeah, when he saw me on Monday, he sort of gave me the thumbs up, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then I pointed to the head, and he sort of looked and was just like, oh, for God's sakes. But it was good to be skirmishing again. I don't care if I'm bad at it. It was just fun. Right. Let's go to that. Check that one out. Right. Right, okay. If I put that under there a second, it's going to get bright. Kind of hard to sort of see, but I could. With that, move her up a bit. A little bit of wiggle room with this. Yeah, I think that would work. Okay, let's turn it off. Let's pop you over there a second, because I'm going to try and first of all get rid of all the crappy pencil line, and then figure out. Hang on, let's do the smart thing. Let's move the board off, otherwise it gets covered in all sorts of bits. Yes, I know. I said the S word, and it's me. Oh, fudge. Oh, sorry, it's okay, it's only a scrap. I'm not asked. I tend to do that on pieces that I'm trying to keep clean, and I inadvertently crease it and erase and stuff. I'm like, nuts! Oh, for fuck's sakes. Right, that's the worst of it. Come on, let's just... Oops. I'll just trash the desk whilst I'm at it. Alright, stage 2. Copper. Right, so what I want to do is try and create like a colour map. So... not sure if you create that from... So the plan here is to give you an idea of where the colour is going to lie, or shading is going to lie as such, just to make things a bit easier when I try to colour it all there. Of course, the hardest part is also I'll be doing this in greys as such, so trying to get it to show is going to be a pain in the ass. Well, those moments where I started a sentence and my brain went, shut down. Low caffeine. 2.97 million subsequent size 2.96. Noise. I'm how to read the rest of it. So, speaking of fishes, Gura officially became the most subbed VTuber. Awesome! Go Gura! Go Gura! Oh, good evening, Ambrose. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for popping by. But yes, I like Magura. Most not any time she has to try and do maths. Well, I think one of the earliest streams that I remember watching in full and enjoying was Gura and Ame doing biped or biped, as they were they couldn't figure out how to say biped, and like it's biped, it's two-legged. But that was a fun stream. And then watching any of Gura's the horror one that she did with the video camera, and I can't remember the name of the game. Outlast? I think it's Outlast. And any of her horror stuff is just fantastic. But I did also see a clip earlier on, because I've got to go watch the stream when I can. Ina, during one of her art streams, mentioned a website and she linked it. So of course you've got, you know, what 10,000 tacos watching her stream who all decide to descend upon this website and inadvertently DDoS the place. Whoops. And she's like, well, it was working when I was on it a second ago. It's like, it probably was. It probably was. Oh, and yeah, Gura and Ina's portal. That was just wholesome entertainment. Right, okay, so that'll do for that. And then this I was going to have as dark. Because this is going to be the dark blue I was planning. Or would that work, or would it need to be the light? No, it'd be the dark blue. Indecisive. Yes, maybe not. Yeah, that would be dark blue. And if I did that as dark blue, so it'd be light blue, dark blue, light blue, yeah. Dark blue there. If I did some dark blue down here. Some dark blue along the bottom. The advantage to this one is because I'm not needing to worry about definitive lines as such, it doesn't matter if it looks organic. I don't have to worry too much if I can't get the lines to be crisp or straight. That'll actually help. Is she Ifrit here about? Hang on, brain's gone. Some people about the Low Sharks, others more about the Foul-Mouthed Dragons. That'd be a great tag for a Zentraer mod. Yes. Unfortunately, no Zentraer modes. Right, and then the rock, I'm thinking just a couple of simple colours. So I might have an overall brown, tan for the highlights, and then if I just put a couple of dark areas, which if I try and just put some in. To help pop the rock. Pop the rock, don't pop the rock, yeah. Potentially need to also plan shadow. So I'm going to do it the other way around. It's going to get light again, one sec. And there are Xenobots, I'm just not so different. Ah, yes. That is a way of getting Xenobots. I just put. Mind you, I don't know why I'm bothered drawing that because I'm going to be drawing it on the main page anyway, so I know where it's going to go. Right, this is where I cock this up. Live on stream for your entertainment. But first, we bring a word from our sponsor, tea. Yorkshire tea. Cracking. I suppose I have to say I'm not actually sponsored by Yorkshire Tea, you know, just before anyone thinks, oh, it's actually been sponsored. No. Much like Sir Spiff, I am not sponsored. Right. So, light colours first. Always do light colours first. So what have I got here? I've got cool grey, pale blue grey, and cool grey number 3. And a fly. Be gone, fly. That'll probably do. And if I need any... I don't think I'll need anything too dark for the waves, it might detract from it. Right, so... Clip. Line up there and there, so I've got no idea where that is. Well, let's just lower that down a bit so I can actually try and figure out what the hell I'm doing. No, it's the wrong way. It's one of these, you've got to press it to go one way, and then if you let go of it and press it again, it drops it down the other. So if I do in that colour, of course it's such a light colour I can't even see it going down. Huzzah! This makes this even more entertaining. Monkeys. It's doing what I didn't want it to do. It's actually pulled some of the brown. This has been drying since, well, when I did it. Back in May. That's going to mean it's going to be fun to try and do the rock. Don't worry if you can't see the colour going down on screen. I can't either. But again, as it's water, it's not too big an issue that it's not 100% over my design lines or anything like that. It's just a rough idea. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. There's a lass at work. She's hoping to have a child, and she was like, trying to think of names for it, because she's like, I think it's going to be a boy. She said, I'm not sure, but I think it's going to be a boy. So we were thinking of, you know, like names you could go for. She says, I was thinking like Star Warsy ones. She's like, I could have like Luke Barker or Luke Skybarker or something like that. I just said, why don't you just call him Chew? And she went, Chew? Like Chew Barker? I don't. And then she just went, like, first name that came to my head. If your last surname is Barker, call your child Chew. Ta-da! Right, okay. That is barely visible. Huzzah! That makes it a little more fun. Right, okay, no worries. We've now got to try and take this barely visible thing and add depth to it. Yeah, that is... Oh god, you can see where I've smudged the brown. That's annoying. If you smell what the rock is cooking. Is that a wrestling thing? Because I don't know much wrestling things. I know about the boulder, but that's about it. Alright, yes. And as a kid prattling about with the hand scanners at work last week, pretending it was all laser done, crept up behind him and instead of me. He seemed to thought someone was why I'm staring down. Good evening, Death Vader. Stick to the lightsabers. I mean, I can't blame him. It's the kind of thing I've been doing. Now, we all know if there's a chance me to run around a shotgun, pew 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 pew, I'm gonna be pew pewing all day. Don't really twist my head at an awkward angle to see this. It's like, where did I colour? Oh yeah, there. Oh, bloody nose. think when I hand this over to the lass, I might jokingly sort of say, when you get the tattoo, let us know, and I'll do that picture of you as a model. Watch as she suddenly remembers what she said. Okay, so that's that done. His mum assisted the laughing, sorry, teasing him from there. Job done. Nice. Them two would make good. Yeah, I think it might work. Should give it a whirl. Let's put them back. Let's put them back in that corner so I know which ones they were if I do happen to need them again. Ooh, almost knocked everything over. Right. Wrong side. I guess this shows a bit better, so woohoo, you should be able to see it. I think what I might do, once I've done, is go around the edge of the mermaid with a thick pen, just to, again, make her pop from the background more. It also means any areas where it's decided it wants to put a silly bubble and lift the ink a bit, or where I've not managed to get as close to it as I want to, I can hide. Let's see what's. Let's get some water out here. I think I wrote as well, because we started talking about the subject of naming kids and stuff like that. I was then like, well, I was playing a game the other day, and it did make me think, actually, there is a good name you could use for your kid, because it's like a medieval game. I said, and nowadays Lance isn't a popular name, but back in the medieval age, people were called Lancelot. I had eye daggers for that one. Along with the Shetland pony walking into a bar and asked the bartender for a glass of water. It's feeling a little hoarse. Yeah, it's got brown here. Stop bleaching the other colours, you bastards. Alright, okay. That's not blue. Yes, yes. Feed me your groans. Hang on. Where did I put it? You know, saying nothing, but it's kind of hard to see. Hang on, let's try and turn the brightness on it now. My dad joke repertoires. And random images, but mostly dad joke repertoires. As I suspected, someone has been adding soil to my garden. The plot thickens. I asked my grandmother, how are you enjoying the new stair lift? She said, it's driving me up the wall. The guy who stole my diary just died. My thoughts are with his family. I got a job as the circumciser of elephants at the zoo. The pay wasn't great, but the tips were huge. Oh, that's actually a lighter blue than I thought it was going to be. You look like you're going to be darker blue. I need a darker blue, not a lighter blue. Light hydrangea. I thought that was a flower. Even that's not as dark as I wanted to make it. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Because I do have a dark blue, but I was thinking that might be kind of too dark, but... it might be the only option. I was today years old when I learned that Fubi can draw. Huh. To be honest, I've not seen her do a lot of drawing. Be interesting to see what she does. Although speaking of drawing and streaming, watching Marine do that Passport, whatever it is, the Starving Artist game, that was entertaining. Yeah, it might be a bit too dark, but stuff it. I've put it on there, so we're going for it. I will have to make this work with some ingenious use of shading of the other pens. No, I shouldn't have trusted this colour. It's ultramarine. Never trust anything with ultramarine in the title. Ultramarines. They just chew crayons faster. Is that the one where she drew Boing Boing Rouge? Yes. And yes, the Ultra Smurfs. Curse them. Space Puppies for the win. Oh, just makes me want to start an Ultramarine army now and just have them as Corone's like personal army. The Ultra Dukes. Ooh, Robert Gremlin too. Ultra Smurfs, inferior iron hands. Oh yeah, sorry. Ultra Smurfs, inferior, iron hands, superior. Hiya, Banana. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for popping by. Looks like the more settled for my scientists when I get around to them. Fortunately, black, orange, and a streak of gold is a good looking scheme anyway. Woohoo! Wheat police here with food. Woohoo! The wheat. Wait a minute. The wheat police? Oh no, they finally caught up to me. But officer, I swear, when I spoke to her, she said she was Japanese. Right, so, seeing as that was the utter failure of the blue, I might be able to make it darken up some of this. Backlog in the department. The last thing we want to talk about when it comes to weaves is a backlog. Like, oh yeah, man, I've still got anime to watch from 1990. Now, I'm not trying to say anything here, Panada, but when you came in, Nana Mizuki started blaring out on it, the MP3 player, so, you know. Call it a sign, if you will. $19.90 that early. Yeah. I've still got some from then I haven't seen. Hell, I've still got to watch the original Sailor Moon. I consider that in relative safety at the minute because I know Panana's on the other end of a computer monitor and she's not going to beat me to death for saying that. Well, the next time she sees me, I'm probably a dead man, so, you know, just FYI. Yeah, my first Magical Girl show was Cardcaptor Sakura. Although I never watched every season of it, I must admit I watched like the first one. First show that I ever fully watched, which I suppose you can call it a Magical Girl show, was Nanoha. Yes, and then Nana happened, yes. Probably, I don't know, respawning in. And just put like a digital timer on there or something. Yeah, we go. Okay, that's gonna have to do for that. Annoyingly, the blue that I was going to use didn't turn out as dark blue as I wanted. That was annoying. But oh well. Excretion occurs, one must wipe their feet and move on. So do that for the highlights. I wouldn't actually mind being cooled off at the moment. I'm roasting. I'm northern. I'm not built for sun. Oh no, no, it's just transition onto Nana singing her swan song from Symphogear. No, I'm going to die! Alright. I still remember watching Strikers at the end, where Nanoha's just like powering up a weapon. And, I forget which one of the like prototypes it is, but she's sort of like watching on a monitor, like what's she doing? And she can't possibly think she's going to hit, but then she realizes Nanoha's powering up with everything she's got to do a direct blast to her. And the sub that we had, oh sweet mother of God! It was just apt, because the next thing that happened is Nanoha just befriends her with attitude. Quattro, thank you very much, yes. Ah, this was the pen that I had that was leaking. Yes, got to be careful with this. Unless I inadvertently get brown everywhere. Maximum befriending. Ah, I've just realised I've missed an area of blue. Let's do that before I put the brown in, otherwise I'm going to smudge the smeg out of it all. Oh yeah, yeah. I still love the fact that watching Nanoha, by the point I was watching Nanoha, I knew like most of the tropes. And you saw Fate, you saw the fight between them, and it was the episode with the giant cat, and I was just like, yeah, this is like every other Magical Girl show. And then it's at that point that it just sort of goes, right, we're done with the typical Magical Girl show, now we're going to go on to this. Yes, the children have spoken. Yeah, Strikers wasn't particularly my favourite, but it was good enough. I think it needed a bit of fleshing out in places, and perhaps a few less characters to allow others to be fleshed out more. But then again, we went into Strikers from straight off the back of Ace, so, you know, we had very high hopes. Yes, Vita. The other thing I liked about Ace though was that the devices had more personality as well. But I think the idea of having the German for Vita staff and stuff, which seemed brilliant. I should watch it again at some point. Yes, don't touch the hat. But now I remember when we were watching as part of the West Country Anime group, and the whole bit where Fate comes in and she's like, "She's my friend," and everyone just cheered. Yes. Still can't complain too much about the English ones, especially considering that someone here has actually had the joy of meeting Donna. Which of the Nanoha movies have I seen? Oh, Fudge Cakes. The first two? Question mark? I think. I think it's the first two. Yeah. I meant to try and keep on top of them and just forgot I didn't manage to get them when they came out, and ooh, excellent, yes. Watch party, yay! I still remember that West Country Anime, they usually did votes as like what series to watch next. And A's actually got selected. And me and Sebastian were like, well, you can't really show A's without showing the first season. And the people who'd seen the first season were like, well, the first season's not as important, it's not as good, this, that, and the other. A's is a better reflection of what the show is like. So it won over, but we weren't going to just sort of idly sit by and be like, well, we can't watch it. We haven't seen the rest, so we marathoned Nanoha. And boy, that was a good marathon. Not important is they were thinking it from like a audience entertainment kind of standpoint. A's does get the audience entertained quicker, I guess. But if you haven't seen Nanohite, it's I don't know if it would have the same draw to it. I mean, people who hadn't seen Nanohite were watching A's were happy with it. It's just me and Sebastian were like, no, we're gonna do it properly. We're gonna watch this, Nanoha thing and see what all the fuss is about. Oh, that was an expensive watch, wasn't it? Completely not looking over at the Fate Dolphy sat next to him. Oh, I'm just thinking as well, back to that Waterstones event where I dressed up as Fate and everyone was gathered around the elevator for me to come out, and I'd missed the elevator because some little kid had got in it first. Is that really a friend of mine? That's got Calafina's Consolation Album signed for me. Ooh. Something £300 plus worth of Macross Frontier figures, cosplay earrings, and you already. Yep. Can't go wrong with a bit of Frontier too. Right, I went mouse and for the last one, let's try and put a bit more random shading in with this same pen before I try putting some parts of it dark. So they're not the dark ones. No, where did you come from? There's a hole there somewhere. How is Fate doing? She's fine, she's got company. And, it's a better place for her if you can actually see her properly. I'm still going to try my alternate project when I see the right one, but I'm thinking of getting a smart doll and trying to turn it into Loyu. It's just trying to find one that has the right expression and such. Right, let's get rid of the one from the back taken out. Not too bad. Said I'm undecided if I want to just go around her with a thicker pen. But I think it would help it pop more. Just to draw your eye to the fact that it's the moment, especially down here. If I'm not focusing, I don't see the tail that well because the blue of the tail blends into the blue of the sea. So I'm thinking if I just bring the outline of her darker, it should hopefully make her pop out a bit more. Spoke to your dad, been showing him the cans for M60 belts. Oh yeah. I'm assuming if it was from America, yeah, M60, it wouldn't be the Gimpy. So, how thick's that line? Actually, that line might be okay. It's not too thick, and it's not. Because if I do it in a slightly thicker line, I should say, then I don't have to worry about trying to line everything else darker. I just do the outer edge and it's done. Right, okay, if I start at the top, there's a good chance everything else will dry by the time I get there. He says. He said times like this today, Michelle's doing this digitally. Because digitally you can press Control S and then come back to it when you fuck it up. Is that going to be... yeah, it should be. That should be fine. So it's not an overpowering line. On the MP3 player, the amusement park themes come on from near, and it reminds me that Tsubasa linked to, I think it's Pan Piano. It's a cosplayer who plays piano, usually like game music and stuff like that, and she did one recently for the amusement park theme. Very well done. And after watching the entire video and listening to her play the piano superbly, it actually hit me. She has a piano. And if you look at the video, you'll probably see why I was not paying much attention to that. See, this is one where when I was erasing the pencil at the start, I obviously creased the paper because I've just simply creasing it now. I'm like, oh, thank God I've managed to hide that. So, That's about 200-300. Alright, okay. So fairly sizable then. You just need to figure out what you're putting in it. Oops. Again, why I could never be a tattoo artist. The fun task is trying to get in tomorrow before this last does, and I'll try and sneak it onto her desk. Oh, you have the idiots on the organ donation devices. Yes, when I become Fuhrer, it will be mandatory to have an organ donor card. Not just for riding motorcycles, but, you know, just in general principle. But I think everyone who gets a motorcycle should have to have an organ donor card. And after all, you're anyway to deliver them swiftly, so... Yeah, they usually gang up. Right, let's just add a little bit to here. Just to help bring the tail out. Do I do it to the hair as well? It looks a bit flat otherwise. I can make the hair come out. So if I draw around the shoulders, so separate the body from the hair, I can then separate the front of the hair from the back. Yes, yes. First of all, if I'm doing that, let's separate the body from the tail fishy bit. I'm no mermaid expert, I have no idea what the correct terminology is. Jasper's doing a riot. No. Jasper's a hooligan. Come Jasper. No rioting. Not until lunchtime. Right. That should do. I think if I try and do more, I'm probably going to cock it up. So I shall leave it to that. Scribble on the bottom, and I'll put today's date because I can't remember when I originally did it. Wah wah! I'll try and get it so that they I can turn that down, can't I? Duh! Makes things a bit easier to see. So yes, I'll get a scan of it and post it up, but I think that'll do. Should be a decent enough tattoo design. You know, if they want to add the waves, they can add the waves, I guess. I just wanted to do it because to me it felt unfinished without them. So yes. I'm still unsure if I might want to just do a very thin line around the edge, so you have the outside definition. Otherwise it is very faint, but yeah, that's part of the reason what I wanted to do. I didn't want to draw too much attention to the waves. So I shall leave it. I think it's good enough there. Right. What time are we at? Okay, alright, I've got 10 minutes. Let us then... First of all, let's turn that off. Close that down. Close that down. So I'm gonna try seeing if Near Replicant runs. Okay. So, 1 moment, I'll just quickly flip to the tech difficulties, because what I'm probably going to have to do is go to my Near OBS setup and run it. Oh, is that going to work? No, it won't work, will it? Oh, fudge. I'll figure something out. I'll try it. I'll hit tech difficulties for a second whilst I sort out, because I need to clear the desk off so I can actually do things. Let's put that to one side where it can dry off properly before I chuck it in my bag. The board and keys, because that's probably going to be useful for stuff. Right, so if I get that running on this window, and then I go to this one and just hit Near. Also, I just noticed it killed my audio. Woohoo! On the plus side, you didn't hear me muttering about how everything was going wrong, so, you know. Right. So I'm just going to turn game audio on, and turn that volume down. Oh yeah, change category. Oh, how the smeg to do that in here? I think I have to do that on Twitch, don't I? Yep. Oh, no, it's Momentos. Going there now. So that button. Nope. That one. I really don't use Twitch that much. Tags? Where the hell's the tags? No, I don't want to look at the tags for. Oh, for God's sakes. I want to get rid of them. Oh, big button there saying edit stream info. That might help. Okay, so that hopefully will have updated it to have new gubbins. As I said, this is just a test. Oh, right. Where's the camera not? Oh, we're adjusting. Let's turn that down a bit. Hello. Also, I have just stared straight into the bloody light. Now I'm like, I've just got a ring in my eyes. Right. So let's just pull up the first fight. Which I think. In fact, I'll just run around from where I am because there's no fighting going on, but I can at least run. Oh, then saying that, why is it not saved anything? That's something I'm going to need to look at then. Because I did run around in this before, but it's not saved it. That's might be a bit concerning. Okay, we'll try new again. Yeah, normal, that's fine. I'm going to skip through any cutscene stuff, just because I'd like to do it all in full on the stream. Manual set. Yeah, that's the thing that I did save before I left, because I made sure to check, does it, will it save?
Get away, you freaks! I'll kill you all!
So I'm just checking performance. Seems to be going okay. Although it has forgotten my settings, because the look on this starts out stupid. Let's just hit escape. Let me just see, has it forgotten all the settings that I had? No, don't want auto battle. Is it under game or is it under controls? No, it wasn't controls. Camera. Oh no, it has remembered them. Because I had to adjust these. These were on like 2s and 3s, and it was like turning the camera through tar. I'm not sure if it was supposed to feel that way, but it was awful.
How many of these things are there? They just keep coming.
Nope, missed.
Won't let you lay a finger on Yona.
But yeah, I'm not getting any issues come through. Skip so you don't get any spoilers. In terms of skipped frames and jazz. It should hopefully show me more here because this is a bigger battle.
So this is the power of the Black Book.
But I'm kind of hoping it will run pretty much like Nier did, so I won't need to worry too much about drop frames and stuff, especially if I chuck performance mode on. I'm just having a look at the actual... Yep. Gotcha. Might just be me, but I feel like it's running slow. It could just be me on that one. But yeah, it looks like it's running fine. It's handled all this combat here. I mean, it could get worse as far as I know, but it's handling this well enough. And it's not complaining about anything on there, so I will call that a successful run. Hang on, let me just tab out to that, do that, and I'll jump into that one to finish off with. So, yes, that looks like that'll be okay for Friday then. That's going to be awesome. So I'll be starting Nier Replicant, a game I've not played at all. So it's going to be a first playthrough for me, and you can join me on that one. Other than that, I hope you have enjoyed my little RT piece today. Again, just catching up on some bits that I've left to one side for far too long. But I'll let you know how it's received once I take it in. If I can find a folder for it, I'll pop it in tomorrow. And yeah, I'm hoping to get in early enough I can just plunk it on the desk and run. But I will get a scan of it before I do that, so I've got a scan, and I'll post it up. So, yes, thank you very much to everyone for popping in and watching. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you are, it's been a pleasure having you, and I hope to have you on the next stream, which is Friday at hopefully 7 PM. Hush, alarm, hush. So yes, I shall see you then. Toodles!